Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Hey guys, how was your July 4th weekend? It's so hard when there's no one to talk back to me, okay? Like, it seems like having a podcast should be pretty simple if you're someone like me who can talk to a brick wall. But it's really hard to like keep my stream of thought talking to just myself, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to get better at it, but I can't wait to have guests because I really think it'll help me flow better. I can feed off of the other person's energy and it will just be amazing. So stay tuned for some guests coming up soon. But I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. I know I did. I'm still recovering from it. It was kind of weird that it was on a Tuesday this year because, I don't know, I like had a fun weekend and then by the time Tuesday rolled around, I was like, okay, I'm ready to recover now. I'm done. I'm dead. So I binged a little bit of The Last of Us on the 4th of July. And I know I'm late to that train, but I do want to talk about it a little bit because I'm obsessed and it's super fresh on my mind. Normally it's a book, but this week it's a TV show, okay? Give me a break. I can watch TV sometimes too. All right, I'm telling myself that because I have that little anti-productive monster, shame monster in the back of my head being like, I smell when you're not being productive. Anyways, okay. Let's pull a different card this week. This week I'm going to pull from this Mind Info Oracle cards instead. A, because my tarot cards are in the car that my brother has. B, because I've been wanting to try these. I got these off of Amazon, so they're not like special cards, but I wanted to try like a different set of cards. So I'm going to pull one card and they all have kind of different meanings and warnings and messages that your universal guides, God, spirit within you wants you to know. So, what is our message of the day? One card. Oh, check in. When you're thinking about whatever it is that you're pondering, take a moment to check in with how you feel about it. Do you feel lighter or heavier? Excited or filled with dread? Pay attention to your inner guidance. It's always so helpful. I mean, that's super me. I preach it a lot, but do I really do it that much? I need to do it more. I need to check in with myself. There's a bunch of things that are coming to my mind right now that I could check in with myself on. I'm trying to be better at that. I'm also trying to be better at journaling, and I think that's a good way to check in with myself. You guys, whenever I have these long weekends, I get kind of hard on myself because I break a lot of the good habits that I'm building because I'm out of my routine and I'm traveling and I'm with friends. I have to be better at not being so hard on myself and letting myself have a good fun weekend. Also, sorry, I'm distracted by how deep my voice sounds right now. I think it's just because sometimes when I drink or when I, don't sleep very well and have like long nights and weekends, that happens a little bit. So I'm just a little self-conscious of that, even though it's kind of sexy. It definitely feels kind of sexy. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, checking in with myself. Before I went to Europe, this is just what's coming to my mind right now. Like, I'm really riffing it. So in order for me to go to Europe, I had to get my life in order here so that I could leave it for 2 months. In doing that, I needed to turn down some things, say no to some things that I might have wanted to say yes to in the past. Saying no is something I've always been not very good at. I'm a people pleaser, as we all know. It's hard for me to say no to things that I don't want, let alone things that I actually do want. But I had to say no to things that weren't perfect for me. My apartment, which I loved, I had to say goodbye to that in order to embark on this next new chapter. Plus, I thought, I love this apartment. I'll appreciate it for what it was, but I can't be afraid of change and the unknown because that will never leave room for anything better to come into my life. If I keep holding on to what's good, then I can't allow space for great to come in. And as much as I love that apartment, and I loved that apartment, I knew I wanted more one day. And even if it's not right now, obviously it's not right now, but sometimes you got to let go of things. So I did. So I let go of that apartment and I said no to a job opportunity that I really loved and it seemed so perfect for me. But again, the timing wasn't right. And if it comes back, then it's meant to be. And then there was a job opportunity that was kind of for Instagram, like a sponsorship or a partnership deal. And the brand wasn't totally aligned with me, but I was like so excited. I was like, I really want to get started, feeling confident in posting on Instagram and getting paid for it. Like, I really haven't gotten paid for it at that point yet. So I was like, this could be a really good start. However, the brand isn't really aligned with me, and I'm not sure this is a good way for me to get started as much as I want to say yes and as much as I really need this money right now. So I said no to all these things. And in that time of my life, I was like, holy shit. I checked in with myself. And after all of those, I felt lighter. I did, like the card says, do you feel lighter or heavier after decisions are made or after you say something or do something? Like, how do you feel? Check in with yourself. And I think it's especially important for the no's. After you say no to something, especially if you're a recovering people pleaser, how does it feel? Do you feel lighter or heavier after the fact, after the initial discomfort of disappointing someone or potentially even disappointing yourself? So all of those things I felt lighter because of, and then I was able to go travel and have this amazing experience that felt so right to me. Because I closed those doors to the jobs, to the apartment. The apartment hasn't come full circle yet, but it will. I'll get a great apartment, and it will make that decision a lot better for me when I do get that apartment. So it still kind of feels bittersweet right now because I'm like, part of me is like, I still wish that I lived there and I had that. But another part of me is like, no, I'm building something. I'll get there. I just have to have faith. And then when it comes to the jobs, it's like I closed this door on this influencer opportunity, but now it's coming full circle because now I'm getting an offer that I'm really excited about. And it's way better and way more aligned with me than the other brand. And now I feel like, okay, I feel validated in making that decision, in saying no to that one door so that this door could open and show me that I made the right decision. And same goes with eventually work and like being my own boss one day, hopefully. I have to believe it more clearly. The conviction isn't there. But I will. I'll get there. You know what I've started to do? In the past, I would make checklists and have a bunch of empty boxes, and then it would feed the cycle of shame and doubt and fear that I'm never going to amount to anything. But now what I'm doing, I made a new to-do list. I'm trying to strike the balance between I like crossing things off of lists and showing that I get things done, but I also don't like looking at the end of the day at like an empty list of like, oh, I didn't get anything done. So I'm trying to strike the balance between those things so that I can do it in a way that is healthy for me. And I think I've figured it out. So now I made a chart of things I want to do on a weekly basis. I fill in the chart. Let's say it's reading, exercising, training, my life coaching training, posting on social, working on some other secret projects, doing my Duolingo, doing my skincare, doing my meditation. So then at the end of the week, I have 2 columns at the end of the chart saying how much I actually completed and what my goal was. So maybe the goal for reading is read 3 to 4 days a week. And maybe I read 3 days that week. Like that's great. Not every single box has to be filled every single week for every single thing. So that kind of takes a little bit of the shame element out, and I'm able to see my progress. So maybe the Duolingo goal is every single day, but I did 5 days. Like that's still, I'm able to see that progress and want to build on that and see where, okay, here's where I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm still making progress. Like I want to give myself more of this because I love myself. Again, love versus hate. And I want to get better at this so that I can build the life of my dreams. And then I can check in with myself and say, okay, how is this weekly checklist working for me? Do I feel lighter or heavier? Am I excited or am I more filled with dread, as the card would say? Pay attention to your inner guidance. You know what else I did this week? July 3rd was a full moon. And you guys know I'm a little bit spiritual sometimes. So I did a little full moon ritual. I just filled my little jar with water, and I wrote a note of 3 things I wanted to release and 3 things I wanted to welcome into my life for this next moon cycle, this next chapter. I rolled up the little paper and I put it in the water, and I put the jar outside overnight so that it could absorb the full moon energy. And now I have this little jar of water, and I keep the jar on my desk as a reminder of the manifestations that I put in the jar. And I can also pour a little of the water into my baths and use it however I want. So sometimes all the time, the subconscious mind likes to work with symbols. And so having something tangible could be good for the subconscious mind. And speaking of the subconscious mind, we talk a lot about how to rework the conscious mind and how to grasp certain concepts to reframe your thinking. But I know that it can be really hard because I'm doing it. I know it's hard. And I saw this video on TikTok the other day that was super inspiring to me because it was a girl talking about how she used to be a stripper in Las Vegas and like hated her job, hated her life until she started doing breath work. And she said, it was really hard for me to change my life and change my conscious mind. So I started working with my body and changing my subconscious mind with simple breathwork techniques every day. And it's worked. It's completely changed my life. So this is something now I'm going to challenge myself to do. More breath work. Maybe I'll lead a breathwork meditation at the end of a podcast down the road if anybody is interested, and just to help get you started. But I think it was just so powerful and important to realize that like there's multiple ways to change our lives, to change the way we think, to change our behaviors, to change the way we operate, to reframe ourselves in a better position to achieve the things that we set our minds to. Mental is one of them. Reframing your conscious mind is one way to do it, but also using your physical body as a vessel to communicate to your subconscious mind is another way to do it. You can communicate to your subconscious mind through various avenues, and you just got to learn what works for you. Maybe a combination of spiritual, mental, and physical, or maybe just one of the three, or maybe a combo of two. Whatever it is that works for you, try it all. Try one, try two, try all three. Try and keep baby promises to yourself until you find something that works for you, until you find something that sticks. This is something I want to help you guys with and help myself with by giving you all those avenues, spiritual and mental and physical. Eventually, I will be launching something that captures all of those things together, and I just want to give that option and hopefully help some people with accomplishing their goals. So I'll tell you more about that when we're getting closer to the reveal. Speaking of product launch, what the fuck is this Threads? Is it Thread or Threads? This Threads app from Instagram. Zuckerberg is shooting shots, and I'm kind of here for it. I don't know why. I haven't had Twitter in ages. I think my account got hacked 10 years ago when those hackers, I don't know if anybody knows or if this is really specific to me, but like somebody hacked my account with buy these Ray-Bans, scam Ray-Ban links, and that was like my whole Twitter. So I just deleted and deactivated my Twitter. I kind of have a habit of doing that. I also deactivated my Snapchat, like deleted, deactivated, gone, dead, goodbye, because my Snapchat got hacked, and that was a different animal. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Plus, I don't really need another form of social media to consume my attention and energy. So I might as well just let it die. You know what I mean? But anyways, I liked Twitter back when I had it. I liked it a little too much. It got me in trouble in high school. I would tweet too many Taylor Swift lyrics, and my best friend and I will always laugh hysterically at how embarrassing it was and how I outed myself, because eventually I'm pretty sure like I was subtweeting my crush, and then one day my crush found out that I was subtweeting him and he confronted me about it. I'm so sorry if you're seeing this. We're friends now, so it's cool. And he was like, oh, I know these are about me. Like, do you like me? And I was like so caught off guard and so defensive. And I was like, you're an egotistical bastard. Like, of course they're not about you. Like, what the fuck? So anyways, I did like Twitter, and I won't be using it like that. I also had a lot of good funny one-liners that I wanted to share with the world, and I thought it was so fucking clever. And now I'm in my villain era, posting whatever I want and hoping that other people will think it's just as funny. So I think this is going to be really good for me. Not that I have any real stake in the Elon versus Mark Zuckerberg battle. However, I would love to put some money on a cage match between the two of them. Who are you guys taking? I think I put my money on Mark Zuckerberg. He seems like really fucking scrappy and fierce and angry and bitter. So I feel like he's got something to prove, and Elon's a little bit too like, he just like wants to challenge anyone or anything, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's gonna be interesting, so follow me on there if you want to see me say some stupid shit, because I will. I'm just gonna be chaotic on there, fully chaotic. Speaking of also chaotic, like this episode, you guys, I'm so pissed. I went out on the Jersey Shore this weekend, and I got 2 fucking tickets from the cops. I promise this is gonna make me look bad, but whatever. We were Ubering like 30 minutes, and we took a White Claw in the Uber with us. I know that's not allowed. And now I really can't go to court and fight these because I'm outing myself, but whatever. I'm just gonna pay them anyway. And as a good friend, when we pull up to the bar, I got the can out of the car because I didn't want her Uber rating to go down for leaving an empty can in the car, right? I'm such a good friend. So I'm like looking around. There's no trash can anywhere to be found. I get out of the car and there's like this kind of alleyway with a ledge with a bunch of other cans on it. So I just put the can on the ledge right out of the car. All right, I promise I'm not like a big litter bug, all right? I love to save the earth. But it's just one of those things. And there was a bunch of cans and there was no trash can to be found. So then we were walking away, a few steps down. There's cops waiting like vultures. And they look at us and they say, "Who put one of those cans on the ledge?" And me, being the stupid goody two-shoes, honest girl that I am, raised my hand. And I said, "Me." It was me, officer. And he goes, "Go pick it up and throw it away." And I was like, "Okay, I'm so sorry. I will. I pick it up." And I was like, "Do you want me to get the other cans too?" And he's like, "No, don't worry about it." So he clearly didn't care about the litter. Just wanted to nail me with the can in my hand. So I pick up the can and I bring it back to him. I was like, "Sir, where's the garbage? Where's the garbage?" And he goes, "I'm writing you up for 2 tickets. 1 for littering and 2 for open container." And I was like, "What the fuck, man?" No, I was like, "No warning?" I was like, "I'm sorry, like, where's the garbage?" And he, like, couldn't tell me. And then another cop came over and was like, "The garbage is over there." Like, clearly felt bad. I was, like, nice at first because, like, my mom always says there's no point in arguing with a police officer. It's not going to get you anything. And I didn't really. We did get a little bit sassy at the end there just because, like, what the fuck? Like, you got nothing better to do than this? You didn't even want me to pick up the rest of them. You don't give a shit about littering. Just power. You just, like, this is what's wrong with some people who become cops just to get power and feel good about themselves. He's like, "You think this is funny?" And I was like, "Kinda." Actually, no, I don't think I said that. I was a little bit funny, but he had nice eyes. But I know it's too late for me to get out of the tickets now. So then I just used them as fans while I was dancing in the club. So yeah, that sucked. That was chaotic. But I still had fun. Now before it gets too late, I literally didn't even talk about anything that I wanted to talk about this episode. So I'll quickly say something about The Last of Us. And I'll try not to spoil it if you haven't seen it. It's a show about basically the end of the world. Kind of zombies, kind of pandemic. I know that a lot of shows and movies have the theme of how strong and powerful love is, but this one struck me just a little harder because they made me cry so many times. The storylines really got to me, especially obviously the main character. The message of the show is just about how powerful love really is, and it really is so powerful. And I think we forget that in our society. People use shame to get what they want a lot of the time, but love is way more powerful. I also saw this video where I think it was a life coach, and it's kind of similar to what I've been learning a lot in my life coaching training. The coach was asking a person to close their eyes and hold their arm up and envision a time where they felt so much love. Just, they've never felt more loved. And envision a time, and then the practitioner, the coach, was going to try and push their arm down, but they needed to try and hold it up while they were thinking of this love scenario. And the person's arm wouldn't budge, super strong. And then they had them think about a time where they felt so ashamed and low and just more shame than they've ever felt. The arm goes straight down. They don't tell them, they say keep the arm up, down way faster and way easier than when the person had thought of love. And again, it's just, there's so many signs in the world that show you how much more powerful love is than hate and then shame. And that's not to say that shame and hate can't be powerful. They certainly can be. But what's more powerful? Love. The power of love, baby. How do we counter shame with love? That can be hard. A lot of us grew up where shame was a part of love. So it can be very confusing. But here's what I have to say about that. I'm still learning this myself. Shame feels like a part of love, so it's something we have to unlearn. The way to really truly love someone is by accepting them for exactly who they are. And if you can't do that in close proximity, then you need to probably remove yourself, at least for a while, to see how you really feel and check in with yourself. If someone's differences are too strong and too against what you need, if that makes any sense, then maybe you need to take a break. But if this is someone you love and you want to show them that you love them, stop trying to change them. And I'm saying this to myself. Accept them or remove them from your life, or tolerate them until you can remove them from your life, and then check in with yourself. Learn how to accept yourself, and then you will learn how to accept others and show them that love and accept them and celebrate them for who they are and the great parts of them. Because at the end of the day, we all are doing our best and we all deserve to be loved. So love people, accept people, even if they're different than you. You can accept them and be bigger. Don't stoop to their level by trying to change them back. And this is a big concept, so I'm sure I'll talk about it more. But love is acceptance. So if you want to love someone truly and purely, then you need to be able to accept them for who they are and not try and change them. If you see something that is a reoccurring problem for them, you can manifest behind the scenes and hope that they overcome them and help lovingly guide them to overcome their own demons and their own battles and struggles. But using shame and trying to change them is not love. Support and guidance, that's love. Just use love and you will have a way better chance at changing them, even though it's kind of counterintuitive to what I'm saying. If you want to change someone, love them and accept them by not wanting to change them. Anyways, I'll leave it at that this week. Love you guys. Enjoy the summer. And keep the comments coming. I'm going to try and start finally posting on the Instagram account that I made for this podcast. So give it some love if you will. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.